Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of We Are Not who am I kidding? I don't even have an intro for this ready because I've been stalling on what to talk about because a lot of shit has happened. I'm just going to get straight into it. A lot, and I mean a lot of shit has happened. Let's go over to AEW first with Fyter Fest and all that because that's finally happening. That finally happened. We do have new tag team champions. It is Swerve Scott and it is Swerve in Our Glory. So that's nice. It's not off on the Young Bucks, thank God, because knowing how they work, they were going to duck FDR, even though they were the number one contenders. But now, since there's a new tag team champions, guess what? We're going to have FTR and Swerve in Our Glory at All Out. I'm calling it now. Obvious. That's what they're 1,000% going to do. 1,000% going to do. Am I complaining that they're all ex-WWE guys? No, because all four of them are fantastic in their own ways, especially FTR. I mean, hell, they're 7-star FTR. They've got all the belts, except for Impact, by the way. Probably should give them the things, make them 8-star FTR, all that. But it's nice to see that it's not on the Young Bucks. I guess there was a shark cage match happened. We could just never have anything good with the Dark Order because apparently Anna Jay turned heel. Jungle Boy finally returned. I was going to say Jungle Jack Perry because of reasons. Jungle Boy returned, basically going after Christian Cage. I mean, Luchasaurus was basically being bodyguard, but then he just, let Jungle Boy just pass by with the steel chair and all that. I don't understand. I don't get that, but hey, that's a feud that's happening. Wardlow's still TNT champion, so there's all that in the AEW thing. Let's go WWE. Now, I'm recording this on a Friday because my dumbass forgot to record this on a Thursday. It's a good thing I decided to record on a Friday. So, around, I don't know. Let's say a couple of days ago. Let's go back to last Friday. SmackDown's happening, all that stuff with the Usos and all that. And, we still don't know who the mystery guest referee is. For the tag team titles. For the unified tag team titles between the Street Profits and the Usos. We had no idea who the guest referee is. Now we know who it is. And it was the biggest completely out of left field if I have never seen it myself. So, Jeff Jarrett is going to be the special guest referee. Look, I'm honestly not surprised here. Because, they're in Nashville. It's Jeff Jarrett. It's Jeff. It's Double J. It's Jeff Jarrett. Slap nuts. So, I'm just kind of surprised on that. I'm not questioning it. I mean, they are in Nashville, so, what better way to, put Nashville representation than Jeff frickin' Jarrett. And, so I'm going to go deviate from WWE and talk about the Ric Flair's last match stuff. Because, my God, what a stacked fucking card this is. So let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Where is it? Here it is. So here is the complete lineup of Ric Flair's last match. The pay-per-view, that's the name. Obviously Ric Flair's last match is on this card. I will say that for last because that's definitely the main event. So, we have this. We have a lot of Impact, New Japan, AEW, NWA, MLW, and AAA. And former WWE talent, current Impact, AEW, NWA, and JPW, MLW, and AAA. So we have this match. We have the tag team match of Kerry and Ricky Morton with Robert Gibson. This is representing the Rock and Roll Express against Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson, with Arn Anderson representing the Fourth Horseman. That's going to be a humper of a match. We then have the Impact Dream Tag rematch between the Motor City Machine Guns, which is Alex Siley and Chris Sabin, going up against the Wolves, which is Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. We then have a triple threat match between Rachel Ellering, Impact Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace, and Deonna Purrazzo. I'm pretty sure that is a non-title match. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's not what the card says, so it's definitely non-title. We then have an Impact World title match of Josh Alexander going up against Jacob Fatu. That match is going to be good. We then have a AAA tag team match with Rey Fenix and Tauros going up against Laredo Kid and Bandito. Look, I'm a sucker for good luchador-style wrestling. That match is going to be fantastic. We then have the MLW match between Killer Cross, with Scarlett Bordeaux, by the way, going up against Davey Boy Smith Jr. Interesting. We then have an NJPW match. We have Clark Connors going up against Ren Narita. Okay. And then we have probably one of going to be the best matches of the night. We have Marshall and Ross as the Von Erichs going up against the Briscoe brothers. Oh, get the hose. Get the hose. Oh my God, that match is going to be amazing. And then we have the final match. It's going to be a tag team match because, Ric Flair can't wrestle by himself. He's like, Alexa, how old is Ric Flair?
Ric Flair is 73 years old. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
So Ric Flair's 73 years old. He can't wrestle by himself. So he is wrestling with his tag team partner. Is his son-in-law, Andrade El Idolo. And he's going up against none other than Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal with Karen Jarrett ringside. I'm going to say this again. Ric Flair and Andrade El Idolo are teaming up against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Last time we saw Ric Flair and Jay Lethal together, not wrestling, but together, was what happens when two dogs in the neighborhood start barking at each other. I don't need to explain it. Go watch the video for itself. It is the greatest piece of wrestling segment. It's like wrestling history there. Just Jay Lethal doing the best Ric Flair impression, and Ric Flair just being Ric Flair, and they're just wooing each other off. It's like I said, it's like two dogs that saw each other in the backyard, and they're just barking. They're just go, woo, 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 woo. Yeah. So that is the full card. That is the full card of Ric Flair's last match. That's literally the name of the pay-per-view. Wow, what a card. This is a stacked card. I don't know how you're going to be able to watch it. Probably through Fight TV, more than likely. So, yeah, that's it. All right, let's go back to WWE, because a lot of shit has happened, and I mean a lot. So, where do I start? Ah, yes. Around 4 hours ago, at 3:05 p.m. Central Time, Vince McMahon tweeted, "At 77, it's time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever, together." And then he did a hashtag WWE and hashtag thankful. Now, a lot of people thought this was fake. No, this is not. I'd like to take note that this is not any storyline, work, all that kind of creative BS. This is 100% real. He is done. He is retiring. He is not the CEO anymore. His daughter and Nick Khan are both co-CEOs now. She opened SmackDown basically thanking her dad. So there's that. Hell, I'm watching it right now. She basically just said thank you to her dad because, he helped made what WWE is today, even though his father kind of did that. He kind of took what his father had and just, rest is history. But, it is, with all the stuff that's happened, him retiring is like, I'm going to quote Dave Chappelle. Yeah. I'm going to air quote Dave Chappelle because, if you've seen my skin color, I cannot say a word he said during the special. Yeah. He did that shit. He totally did all that shit that's allocated to him. Totally did that. Now, with Vince gone, Triple H has returned. I need to pull up the Sean Ross stuff because he has a lot of easily stuff. But back to Vince McMahon. Retiring from being CEO of WWE was not something I would expect in my lifetime. He would probably have been nothing but bone and dust and still would have somehow found a way to be CEO. I thought he was going to be CEO for life. And then all this stuff came out, and it's like, well, he's kind of gotten this, forced his hand into retire stuff. But him retiring is just surprising. I thought he would have died before he ever retired. But, hey, I guess so that... And I find this... You know what I find ironic about this? It's been almost a whole year. It's on the day of the 1-year anniversary since, Sean Ross Sapp put out that thing on Fightful Select that CM Punk has been in talks to returning to wrestling. It's been a year to the day. Just find that a little crazy. Let me go find some stuff. So, with Triple H also returning, just some crazy stuff has happened. Triple H is returning. With McMahon gone, you know what's happening. John Laurinaitis is 1,000% gone as well. Thank God. And I'd like to say probably Kevin Dunn is next. Triple H is returning, so Kevin Dunn's probably going to go as well. So, there's that. So they had a team meeting about this. And so, FYI, Brock Lesnar is supposed to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam this upcoming week. He did what Sasha and Naomi did and just walked out of SmackDown. That's from Brian Alvarez, not Sean Ross. From what Brian Alvarez is saying, he has left SmackDown. Has left. And of course, with Stephanie, this also goes back to Stephanie opening. They 1,000% had to rewrite the show. With Vince retiring, Brock Lesnar basically leaving before taping start. I just... So yeah, he has walked out of the company, and it is now in flex of whether he's going to face Roman at SummerSlam or not. Now, here's the thing that they're not going to do. I'll make this very clear. And they're probably going to make this very clear. And they're not going to say anything about this at all. They're not going to say anything about Brock Lesnar walking out. But I find it weird that the day Vince McMahon retires, Brock Lesnar walks out of SmackDown. Why is that? I just find that weird. I just find that very odd. Now, do these two things connect? Probably not. I hope not. But is it weird that, I get if I go back, I remember going back to the Pat McAfee interview that Brock Lesnar did with Pat McAfee. Just one of the... I still go back and listen to it time and time again. It's still amazing. He always talks... He talked about, how Vince McMahon was like a father to him. It was like a second father to him. So, I wouldn't say... I guess Brock Lesnar was technically a ride or die guy. He had been there since the Ruthless Aggression era. And when he was first there, he just got the absolute gigantic mega push. So, yeah, there's that. But I just don't. But here's what, like I said, here's what they're not going to do. They're not going to call Brock Lesnar out for being unprofessional and walking out of SmackDown and basically, burying him like they did with Sasha and Naomi. Speaking of Sasha, she's apparently charging almost $40,000, like 40. I don't remember. It's like $40,000 or $45,000 per appearance for convention. That's up there with like Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Sting, and all like those kind of like those legends of wrestling. Look. You can't really, wipe Sasha Banks away from, like, how she kind of helped pave the way for women's wrestling. What the women's division is right now in the WWE. Like, she basically helped pave the way. Like, her, as much as I hate to say it, Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley are basically paved the way to see, and are basically what helped what the women's division in WWE is today. Now, they also did, that and Sasha and Naomi know their worth. But $45,000 just to show up per event, I get it. I get your worth, but I get that. But either way, it's just $45,000. I just don't understand it. I don't know. If I was that overly popular with people, I could understand it. But hey, I'm talking to a phone right now, recording a podcast. So yeah, there's that. They're not gonna do that. That's just not how they're gonna do it. I'm not saying anything. This isn't gonna be political at all. I'm just saying that Brock Lesnar has been there for so many years. They're not going to say anything on commentary at all. They're not going to cut to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and have Michael Cole saying what Brock Lesnar did was unprofessional and selfish and all that. So actually, about 2 hours ago from Brian Alvarez, there has been a replacement already set for Roman Reigns at SummerSlam if Brock Lesnar doesn't show. But they are trying their damnedest for him to actually, get him to come back. Now, getting him to come back is the hard part. Because remember during his times during the Universal title run where they're like, hey, Brock, we want you to defend the... No. All right, cool. All right. See you back in one of the major pay-per-views. So, there's that. I swear to God, if his replacement at SummerSlam, if Brock Lesnar's replacement at SummerSlam is fucking Goldberg, I'm going to be pissed. Just make it Edge. Just have it do Edge. Hell, do Seth again. I don't care if there's no build up. Look at the history. Look at the match they had at the Royal Rumble. Look at that match that they had at the Royal Rumble, which was fantastic, which was a good match, by the way. The finish, it was okay. It's a 5 count, guillotine hole, or the guillotine for a 5 count, that disqualified Roman. I would like to see them run it back. Look at there's history between those two, but just you don't really need to have Goldberg go out there again. I get he's gonna get a paycheck, but have Seth or Edge, or just just have Austin Theory just job out to Roman and just call it a day. I'd be fine with that. Well, it's funny though. I saw tweets saying now that Vince is retired, Austin Theory can't hide behind the curtain of Vince McMahon anymore. So, and I think it was the video of this someone sitting in the Raw locker room, and then it was back when they did when all the SmackDown came up to, or it was all SmackDown came to Raw, or I think it was vice versa. I don't remember. And they just jumped one guy and they're just beating the shit out of him, and that's basically what's probably going to happen. So, does that? I just don't know. It's just been a crazy day with all this happening. Vince McMahon retiring. Brock Lesnar walking out of SmackDown, all that. Them already finding a replacement. John Laurinaitis and Kevin Dunn are basically out the door now, even though nothing's happened. It's pretty much, it's not confirmed, but, to a lot of people, it's definitely happening that Laurinaitis and Dunn are out, probably. Just, a lot of things are changing. Oh, by the way, on NXT, you know how, they had the women's tag team title belts on NXT? Yeah, they did a what the fuck, I forgot her name. They basically threw it in the trash. Gee, that's totally sending a message. That's totally proving Sasha and Naomi in the right. Totally proving their point of why. So, just a lot of crazy stuff is happening with WWE. So, hello, this is Tommy Haley from the future after recording Wayne. So, turns out Brock Lesnar actually did end up showing up. I just got my ass worked like it was nothing. So, yeah. Now, we will finally go to Ring of Honor. So, it always starts, with the recap of last week's, reveal show intro. It shows the crowd, with Kevin Kelly, Matt Striker welcoming us to the arena in Philadelphia. We start off with the first match of the night with Serena Deeb and Lindsey Bondin. Deeb comes out with the rest of Dishonored. Bondin tries her damnedest but cannot overcome Deeb's in-ring ability. Deeb hits the detox for the win in 4 minutes. Zayn is with Dishonored as all members come to the podium post-match. Zayn asks Deeb, "Miss Deeb, I've got to ask you one question. Everyone has been asking you one question everyone has been thinking. Why would you join Dak Draper in Dishonored?" Deeb says, "Well, Zayn, as Dak has put it so perfectly before, when you find there are similar-minded people, you gravitate towards each other. And that's exactly what I did when I saw how Jeff Jarrett was treating Dak, and when he saw and heard what Jarrett told me. In case you forgot, Brian, it was when I lose my ROH Women's Championship, I was leaving to go to AEW. Why on earth would I want to go to a company that doesn't know how to showcase their women's division?" No comment on that. Draper is handed the mic. The bite even says, "You see, Brian, we are punished more than we should be. We are an ostracized group of the roster. We are the victims of what the wrestling industry has become. We do not fit into the corporate machine. God, reading this now after what's been happening as of late with WWE is just so weird to see. Which is so weird. Alright, where do I list? We don't roster, court machine. And for that, we are outcasts, outlaws, and outsiders. We are dishonored, not because we choose to be. No, we are dishonored because we were forced to be. So I lay this challenge down to some of those who are more fortunate than us. Jonathan Gresham, you've been ducking me my challenges for long enough. So how about we settle this one-on-one finally? You and me, ROH Championship, August 6th at the aptly named Death Before Dishonor. Huh? What'd you say? And if your little buddies want something to do, find another member for your group and face the rest of Dishonor in a 6-man tag match. I think that sounds very fair, don't you? Draper and Dishonored leave. We then go to the second match of the night with Varsity Blondes going up against Bounty Hunter Michael Hunter, and Blackjack JC Black. The Blondes use their speed and great tandem offense to keep the big men reeling, including a stereo drop kick from the Blondes to Hunter. Hunter is caught with a dropkick German suplex combo. Hunter is finally finished off with a suicide blonde for the win in an 8.5-minute match. Post-match, the Blondes go to the podium with Brian Zane, who says, "Congratulations on the big win, gentlemen. But I've got to ask you, why did you and the Workhorsemen fight each other on site last week?" Garrison grabs the mic before Pillman can talk and says, "Zane, all this started because the Workhorsemen thought they were too big and too bad to be brought down. Now they may still be undefeated here in Ring of Honor, but are going to be the team that finally takes them down. And since people are throwing out challenges, boys, we challenge you at Death Before Dishonor to face us in the ring as God intended." Pillman looks confused by this as first says, "That's right, we will face you at Death Before Dishonor. Hell, we'll face you right now." Griff looks pissed at that, but Drake Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson and JD Drake and Pillman Jr. and Brock. Wait, Griff looks pissed but then out come the Workhorsemen. The fight is on. JD Drake and Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson and Griff Garrison. The brawl ends up with the refs coming out to break it up. A promo for David Finlay coming to ROH, where he says, I've left a path of broken bodies in my wake the last 3 months. When I get to ROH, I'm not coming to just hurt people. I'm coming to destroy a company. Match 3 is Jungle Jack Perry versus Reno Renegade. Perry hits the masked Renegade with flying forearms to keep him dazed. Perry then hits head scissors into a swinging neckbreaker into the snare trap for the win in a 5-minute match. Zayn is joined by we then go to Brian Zayn, where Zayn is joined by the Kingdom. Zayn hands the microphone off to Taven, who smiles and says, about time you did something useful, Brian. We're 2-0 in our open challenges. And of course, you know the deal. If you come at the Kingdom, you best not miss, or you will bow to the Kingdom. The Kingdom is in the ring, and they look at the stage mocking who could it be. A tire screech and gunshots play overhead. It's MCG. It's the Motor City Machine Guns. Hey, look at that. It's like... interesting that they just showed Brock Lesnar in the commercial, even though he didn't show up for SmackDown. Either way, Sabin and Shelley start out hot against Bennett. Bennett can't slow down the guns, and they hit him with rapid chops in the corner. Taven comes in and levels Shelley with a shoulder tackle. The match goes back and forth for the rest of the way until Sabin misses a 450 splash on Taven. Taven then gets up, tags in Bennett to hit Thy Kingdom Come for the win in a 24-minute match. God damn. Are these shows getting longer? Alrighty. Tessa Blanchard is backstage with the mic. You know, maybe it's time I made my mark here in Ring of Honor. I'm calling out someone that most people would be shocked at. I'm calling out the fans for the backlash of me being here. I'm calling out those who have tried to cancel me, for trying to take away my livelihood from me. Well, it's just that people aren't trying to take away a livelihood. You're just a fucking dick sometimes. You should be an asshole sometimes. For trying to take away the one constant in my family for generations. I'm calling the internet trolls out. So at Death Before Dishonor, I'm calling out whoever the internet trolls feel like sending my way. Look, I get it. Look, she's a good wrestler, but just sometimes she can be a fucking asshole sometimes to work with. Look at what happened after she won the Impact title. Not the women's, the main one after beating Sami Callihan and all that. She basically did nothing. She was stuck in Mexico for a bit because of COVID. I mean, that was fine. But she didn't want to do anything. When Impact was like, hey, can you do some promos for us? No. She was like, no. Hey, can you do this and this and this? She's like, no. She's hard to work with. She's not trying to get canceled. She's just... People don't realize how difficult she is to work with. That's just my opinion. Either way, we then go to match 5 with Anna Jay versus Paige Brewer. Anna jumps the gun on the match and nails a knee to the face of Brewer, who falls to the mat, knocked out. This match is over in 6 seconds. It's ironic. It's how long she lasted with the Dark Order. Ooh, too soon? Too soon? Too soon? Alrighty, let's see. We have Jeff Jarrett comes out to the ring with a microphone in one hand and a guitar in the other. He gets in the ring and salutes the crowd with the guitar. Jarrett says, well, hasn't it been a busy night tonight? So much so that I'd announced the car for Death Before Dishonor right now. You heard the challenge made earlier by Mr. Draper, and I'm going to make it official. It will be Jack Draper versus Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor Championship, as well as the House of Truth will face Dishonored in a 6-man tag match. The Varsity Blondes and the Workhorsemen will settle their differences once and for all. Tessa Blanchard will face a mystery opponent, and the Kingdom, if they can keep a hold of their Ring of Honor tag titles, will face a brand new debuting team. Which leaves Miss Serena Deeb, who will face the only woman who I could think of her to face. From AEW, Miss Jamie Hayter. Now, as for your main event tonight, I thought long and hard about it. And from the back, we hear a struggle for a mic in the back, and you hear a voice say, yes, hello, Danhausen here. Mr. Jeff, Danhausen would like to face Draper of Dak for the championship in television. Jarrett looks at Danhausen and says, aren't you that goof that I hit with a guitar last week? Danhausen says, yes, Danhausen was hit by a guitar last week. How did you know? Is Danhausen that famous? Double J. No, I'm the one who hit you. Why are you here? Danhausen. Because Danhausen wasn't pinned in the match because because of the Lumberjacks that the championship television was contested in, and Danhausen wants to win the championship and get the money, and get all the monies. Double J says, "You're a weird cat, aren't you? You know what? You've got your championship match tonight. Good luck, Danhausen." I thought he was gonna. You could have said, "Good luck, Slapnuts." Main event. We then go to, and then there's a guitar shot, of course. Just a Slapnuts. Main event, Dak Draper with the rest of the Dishonor versus Danhausen for the ROH TV Championship. Danhausen, still recovering for the guitar shot, stands up and throws a bag of teeth at Draper, which bounces off Draper, who looks at Danhausen in confusion. Draper hits a massive boot and a Draper bomb. 1-2, Draper pulls Danhausen up and shakes his head. Draper spends the next 5 minutes destroying Danhausen before finally ending it with a Draper bomb for the win. Danhausen is taken by the masked man to a trash can and dumped into it. Then they then put a sticky note in front that says, "Send to 1 TIA Bankfield Drive." Is that where the Phillies play? Is that where the Eagles play? Wait. Time out. 1 TIA. Oh, that's in Jackson. Why did I think that was where the Eagles? Why did I think that's where the Eagles play? My dumbass, fucking idiots. Way to go, Tom, thinking it was fucking Philadelphia. Draper, Deeb, and the masked attackers are on the ramp when Draper looks at the masked woman and grabs her mask to rip it off to reveal Quinn McKay. Wait, Quinn McKay. Oh, after it is revealed to be Quinn McKay, Draper and McKay make out on the ramp to end the show as we fade to black. End credits. Very interesting to see, Kelly Kincaid and all that. It's very nice to see that it was Kelly Kincaid. Some Springfield, Missouri representation, like I said. But that's going to do it for this episode of We Are Not Entertained. Sorry I took this so long. It's actually kind of a good thing because, I would have had to do it instead of, when I put this out on Friday, when it was supposed to go out on Friday. Good thing I didn't do it on Thursday because I would have had to do an emergency podcast because of Vince McMahon retiring. But that's going to do it. You can follow me on Twitter at dude_rex14. You can follow the YouTube channel at bcardYT. The B, the C, the Y, and the T are all capitalized. Earning Our Stripes, they're going to talk about something. They're going to talk about stuff. We talked about baseball this past. It was just a very baseball-heavy podcast we did for Big Time Talkers with me, Brock, and Ben. I don't think CSP did anything this week, but yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. See y'all later. Bye. Drink some water, and Baron Corbin just kicked the shit out of Pat McAfee. How disrespectful.